Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Transition Table. My name is Diane Hartz-Warsoff,
And I'm Megan Kearney.
and at the end of the year, we would like to talk to you about ways to wrap up your business for this year and really work on a strategic plan for next year because this is the time where everybody should be working on those things, figuring out what went right this year, what went wrong this year, and what you would like to do going forward. So, Megan, why don't you start by talking about financials and we'll go from there?
The four things I guess we'll cover today are cleaning up your financials, evaluate your team, refreshing your pricing, and then just addressing our customer concentration. But like Dion said, we're going to focus on cleaning up your financials. So I always like to think about it ending your year with clarity. So when you think about your financials, think about it like I've been thinking of this analogy of your dashboard of your car. It's almost like a gauge. If the gauge is not accurate, then you can't drive without confidence. So think of it in that way. Think of it, okay, is everything working properly? Is it correct? How can I move forward with my financials in the right way to start off the new year with clarity? Also, it's a moment to reconcile accounts, clean up expense categories, maybe eliminate personal expenses in the business. You really want to start your 2026 with clean books, clean reports, and truly zero question marks because I think clarity directly increases both valuable assets and bankability, is what I call it. And so, again, think about ending your year strong rather than trying to start your beginning of the year reevaluating everything financially.
There will always be some add backs in a business, but I think the key is also making sure that you have really strong documentation for that.
The second one is evaluate your team. So I like to say, who's driving you into 2026? I think, ending your year is a great way to think about, okay, who's stepping up this year? Who needs to be trained? Who is no longer aligned? And when you think about it, like your team really is the engine behind, transferability and growth. And if you want 2026 to be your best year yet, make sure the right people are in the right seats. And I think with that, it's starting expectations in the new years, having, the right roles that are clearly defined. And at the conference I was just at, they talked about having A team players. Everyone wants to have an A team player. Start to think about it. Do you have B team players that are just bringing you down? If you do, why continue with them? You want to have your top A players with you. And I think it's important when you surround yourself with people who push you forward, push the business forward. That's where growth and value really is. Number three is refresh your pricing. So, too many business owners let outdated pricing roll from year to year. With inflation, increased value, and demand all warranted, basically reevaluating your rates is super, I would say, underrated. Don't continue to carry on underpricing year over year. And it's just important, again, to reevaluate. I think small changes now end up being big impacts in the years to come that make it more profitable. Another thing to think about is contracts. So, commitment with your clients and customers. What does that look like moving forward in the new year? What are what are their goals as contracts come near and near? What does that look like, and how can we help improve that they continue to renew year over year?
All things that everybody should think about. And Megan, I just want to point out we're doing the same thing right now as well.
Yep. Every business should be thinking about this. The last one is addressing customer concentration. So this is really just reducing your risk before January. So the end of year is a perfect time to analyze your customer mix. Think about it. If one client represents more than 20 to 25% of your revenue, that's a big risk that you shouldn't want to continue in 2026. So start to look for ways to diversify, strengthen your pipeline, and even broaden the lead sources that you're getting now because, afterwards it won't be a problem for you in the future.
Yes, I've seen that bring businesses down. Hopefully, you don't have 100% your investments in one stock. And it's the same thing with your clients. You don't want all of your investments with one or two main clients, because what is the impact if you lose that one client? So think about it in those terms. What would happen if I lost this client? And what can you do now to offset what can always be an uncertainty?
Well, those are, again, the four things we want to focus on today, and we'll walk through in our next episode some other important topics to think about when considering and being strategic for the end of the year. And I would say if a business owner, if you feel overwhelmed, the easiest place is to start with these four specific areas to focus on. And then you go there building your business in a more thoughtful, more strategic way.
And we'll be back next week with part two of this series.